Good morning, first graders, and welcome to April Number Corner. Let's take a look at our calendar for the day. Today it is April 22nd, 2020, and when I turn over today's marker, I see this shape. Now, we're going to take a closer look at this shape because I don't want you to get fooled by the fact that this shape is turned. Right now, it's looking a lot like a rhombus, but we're going to take a closer look to find out, is that really a rhombus? Some of you might have thought it was a rhombus right away because we know rhombuses look a lot like diamonds. Right now, I'm seeing 4 sides that are all the same length. I'm seeing 4 corners or vertices. But one big difference between a square and a rhombus is the type of corner it has. We know squares have something called a square corner. They come to a 90-degree angle. And when I put my little mark, I can see it's doing that. I can fit another square within that corner. So this shape isn't a rhombus. It is a square. It's just been turned. Knowing that it's a square, do you think this shape is going to have symmetry? You're right. We know squares do. When I divide it in half vertically, I see it's been split into 2 triangles that are the same size as length. If I folded them, they would line up. If I go ahead and divide this shape into 4s by adding a horizontal line, now I see 4 triangle pieces that are all the same length, all the same size. If we were to fold them up and line them all up, they would all match. Let's go add our observations into calendar collector. Into our calendar observation form. So we saw a square today. It is blue because a square is a type of quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. This shape was able to be split into 4 equal pieces. And yes, it had symmetry. All right, my friends. Let's go ahead and talk about numbers of days of school. Today, it is the 136th day of school. Count it up with me. 100, 110, 120, 130, 135, 136. You got it, friends. How many more days till our next decade day? You're right, 4 more days. If I see a group of 6, I see 4 more empty boxes to get to that next group of 10 or that next decade. Yesterday, I asked you to write some equations for the number 135. Now, these top 4 were the equations that I provided, and I saw lots of you trying that out, which was great to see. If we had 100 plus 20, we would need 15 more to get to 135. I know 50 plus 50 is a group of 100, so I need 35 more to get to 135. If I want to get to 135 and I had 90 plus 30, well, I know that's a lot like 100 plus 20. I took a group of 10 from the 100 and gave it to the 20. So do you see how this is one group of 10 less and this is one group of 10 more than above? So I know this is going to equal 120 again, which means I need 15 more. If I was at 200, I would need to take away 65 to get to, let me make a change quick, to get to 135. I saw some of you using your groups of 10 to help you out. So you saw there was 2 groups of 50, so 50 times 2, that got you to 100, plus 35 more. And some of you took it as just your groups of 10s. Altogether, you had 130 worth of groups of 10s, and then 5 more ones to get you to 135. Today, like we said, it's the 136th day of school. What does this 3 mean, first graders? You're right. It means there are 3 tens or 30. What does this 1 mean, first graders? Yes, there's one group of 100. What does the 6 mean? There's 6 ones, or 6 by itself. 100 plus 30 plus 6 equals 136. All right, let's spin for our calendar collector. So far, we were at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 sticks this week. And just like we saw in calendar collector, we know we need 4 more to get to that next bundle of 10. We only got 3 sticks though. If I knew I needed 4 more to get there and I only am adding 3, how many single sticks do you see? You're right, 9. I know it's 1 less. 6 plus 4 equals 10. So 6 plus 3 is going to be 9. It will be 1 less. 10 plus 9 is 19. We have 19 sticks so far. And look at that. We already have beaten our total for week 2, just like we were predicting. We'll have to see how many we get all together by the end of this week. The last thing I want to talk to you about, first graders, is this number corner page activity you're going to find on Seesaw. You're going to have some equations to solve, and you're going to be circling your answers with different colors. Now, for this game, we are always going to be either adding or taking away groups of 10 or adding and taking away groups of 1. For example, you might see an equation that looks like this in the Seesaw activity. You might see something that says 13 plus 10. And you are going to need to solve it. And you might say, circle that in green. Now, first graders, I have a really easy trick for you. Instead of counting out 10 spaces, what you can do, and what some of you might have noticed from the last time you had to fill out that number grid page, is you can just slide down the column. I know that when I'm adding groups of 10, my number in that one spot is going to stay the same. So since I see a 3 in the one spot of 13, I know my final answer is still going to end in a 3. If I'm at 13 and I add a group of 10, it's the same as me taking one hop down or adding a second group of 10, and I'd land at 23. 13 plus 10 is 23. Now, what would happen if I was at 13 and I took away a group of 10? All right, first graders. Well, I can use my same ideas from before. If I'm at 13 and I'm going to take away a group of 10, I'm going to slide where my numbers are going to get smaller. So I'm going to slide up my column, and I see that I'd be left with 3. Now, when you're adding and taking away groups of 10, you're always going vertically through your column. You're either going down where numbers are getting bigger when you add, or you're going up where numbers are getting smaller when you subtract. But when you're adding and taking away groups of 1s, you're moving horizontally or back and forth on your number grid or column. If I'm at 13 and I add 1 more, well, I'm taking 1 hop forward, and I'd be at 14. But if I'm at 13 and I'm taking away a group of 1, it's going to look different. I need to hop backwards where my numbers are going to look smaller, and I'd end at 12. First graders, you will find this as a number corner activity on Seesaw, and that is your big math assignment today. All right, friends. Good luck, and we'll see you tomorrow.